Four, three, two. Hi, teammates all around the world. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Let's Talk. And we are jumping right into it. No long monologues. And I just want to welcome my guest. Thank you for coming on, my guy. I appreciate it. I know it's you're a little bit late out there in Russia. You're 1 hour behind me, but I appreciate you staying up and taking the time to talk to the good people out there. Can you do me a quick favor? Introduce yourself real quick. Tell us where you're
Mhm.
at, and then we're gonna start right into it.
My name is AC. I'm in Moscow, in Russia, and I'm at home on the couch about to enjoy this interview right now.
All right, we're gonna get right into it. So, my first question is always that's a little bit off the wall. So,
Mhm.
I heard a little bird told me that I heard that it's really difficult for you to find sized hats out there.
Man, that ain't nobody but Joel. Like, this, don't believe that. It's no, I find hats fine. Like, this is just, I knew that's from him. That's funny though. That's funny.
So I always try to break the ice by hitting up
Yeah,
somebody that my guest is with that knows my guest, and I hit up
right.
Joe, and he got
Okay.
back to me. So shout out to Joe Cash. I told him
Nah, that's
I was
funny.
going to make sure to get that in there for you. Okay, so now we're going to jump into it. So you played like every level of basketball, NBA, G League, overseas.
hmm
How would you describe your basketball journey in your own words?
I think my journey is interesting. I didn't really have any expectation, so I think that's always a pro.
Mhm.
I think that's a plus for guys like me. I was never like ranked high All American, so it's no pressure.
Mhm.
I already overachieved. So, a couple of years in the NBA, couple years in the G League, and my overseas career, I think has been going great. I've been like transitioning upwards each year. So,
Mhm.
I think in my eyes, it's a success so far. But obviously, long way to go. Still hungry. Still want more, but. I think I'm blessed. I'm definitely blessed and just thankful so far.
What were your kind of how do you say it? Your expectations coming into going overseas? Like you've been in the NBA, you've been in G League, and then you decide, okay, I'm gonna make the move, I'm gonna hop overseas. What were your expectations going into that, and how was the reality?
So my first year going overseas, after I finished in the G League, I finished the bubble in the G League bubble back in what 21 of those
Hmm.
years. And my agent was like, you can go to Australia. We got an offer from Australia or Onyx. And this was fresh out of G League. And he said my agents kind of they give me options, but they also put their 2 cents in before I make a decision. So I
Right.
always lean on them. And he said that the Australian League would be great for my first stint as far as my family, the lifestyle, the league itself, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he said I would dominate it and I would enjoy it. So I went into Australia kind of excited. I really wasn't. It was me going to Australia where they speak English and me being
Right.
familiar with everything. I think that helped, and it just
Right.
made me focus, strictly on the hoops. And Australia was amazing. So I didn't have to deal with off the court things. It just was a smooth transition all the way around. And I just wanted to just show out, dominate. Show that I belong, show that I was good, and have a good year.
You played there 1 year or 2 years in Australia?
2 years. I did 2 years in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, and you had a really, really good career, defensive player of the year. You had a really good time while you were out there. What made you think, okay, I think now's the time to come to Europe because that's a different transition.
Yeah, so the Australian season ends. The championship is probably end of February, maybe beginning of
Hmm.
March.
Right. So you
My
still can play.
yeah. So my second year, my second stint, we didn't make the playoffs. So I was finished around the first week of February, and of course, I didn't want to just sit at home till August from
Right.
February. So my agent was like, we got a couple options for you. We want you to, some people don't think Australia is Europe. Like they think it's two different things. So
Hmm.
he said, I want you to go, prove that you can play in Europe for the last 3 months. And I was like, all right, I just want to keep making money. It don't matter where I go. So he sent me to Israel. And once I got there, that's when I really started to understand like European basketball. As
Hmm.
far as like, what the Euro League is, everyone would gather around and watch Maccabi because I played for a team called a lot. So that's when I learned like, okay, EuroLeague is, I guess, is prestige. This is like where you want to be. That's what my first time ever caring about EuroLeague. Because when I was in
Hmm.
Australia, I didn't want to watch it. I didn't care. So I think my 3 months I did it a lot. That was kind of like my introduction to Europe, and I seen how people look at it. You know, people look
Hmm.
at European basketball as, the top EuroLeague, etc. And I just wanted to show that I was good, and that's where I got to go do it at. I want to go do it there. That's kind of like my mindset as a competitor.
What's for you the difference between the Australian league and being in Europe now for longer? What's probably the biggest difference between the two styles of basketball? Let's put it like that.
I think it's similar. I think it's similar. Playing in Israel, especially the Israeli Winter League, the domestic league, you get teams that get up and down, just
Right.
like the NBL. I think with something with Euro League is different. A lot of teams is more. It's like every possession matters, of course. So, but when you look at just the domestic leagues, I think it's really similar. But when you look at the Euro League itself, I think it's a more strategic game when it's thought out. You
Right.
can't come take a 30-footer with 12 on the shot with
Right.
time left on
Right.
the shot clock. I think that's the difference is the high level of basketball being played. But as far as domestic leagues, I think they're all kind of similar, just fast
Mhm.
paced.
How what was did you have a welcome to Australia moment, and what was your welcome to Europe moment on the court?
I didn't have a welcome to Australia moment. I kind of found my footing pretty quick and was able to
Mhm.
to do good early on. I did have a welcome to the EuroLeague moment, kinda. I was guarding the Colo.
Yeah.
And we all now I
Right.
know who he is. But then my rookie
Right.
year in the EuroLeague, I didn't really know. So I like to get kind of not physical with my defenders, but I like to touch them. Because if I feel like if I can put hands on you, it's easy for me to stay with you. And
Mhm.
two possessions in a row, I tried to touch DeColo, and he swiped like he got me boom boom quick foul. I had to come sit down, and I'm like, man, and they just was like, yeah, that's DeColo. He's in like year 16. He's a legend. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
touch him. Blah blah blah, all that. So I just was
Yeah.
like, all right, I know who he is now. So that
Right.
was like my moment to like, all right, I need to. I don't want to guard him pretty much, so I'm gonna go guard somebody else if I get back there. That was my little moment right there for sure.
I mean, you're known for your athleticism, your defensive prowess. Um, what has changed in your game in the years that you've transitioned to Europe? Let's put it like that.
I play a lot. I play more pick and roll now.
Mhm.
I think in Australia I was standing in the corner a lot because in college I stood in the corner. In the NBA, guys like me, you're gonna be in the corner. So
Right.
I never really had the opportunity to play pick and roll. When I got to Israel for the first time, I was able to, handle the ball, play pick and roll. And I'm just kind of enjoying that, making reads now. Maccabi, I didn't play pick and roll, but my last year in Russia and now I play more pick and roll and I play make. And I enjoy that because I feel like I can
Mhm.
pass, I can see over the defense. So that's kind of like an addition to my game that I've been looking forward to as far as like building on and showcasing.
I mean, every year, usually players like to add something to their game. Do you think that the pick and roll thing, now that you're getting a chance to flourish with it and do it more, is that something that you think is maybe your most underrated talent?
I think so. I
Mm.
think so. I think I'm a really good creator, playmaker, kind of. Make decisions. I can make that skip pass to the corner if the low man is, sinking in too far.
Mm.
I think I've gotten good at that, and I understand it. And I think that's underrated because a lot of people in the Euro League didn't see me play pick and roll. They just see me defend.
Mm.
We had Wade Baldwin and Lorenzo Brown,
Right.
Tamir Black, those guys, were the creators. So a lot of people in Europe, didn't see me do that. Even my coach now, at Cheska, he said he was impressed by what I did last year playing pick and roll because obviously in Euro League you wouldn't see me do that. So I would think that's a very underrated part of my game for sure.
Is there any part of your game that you've developed since you've been overseas that you wish you kind of had in those days when you were in the G League and also the NBA?
I'm shooting the ball with a lot of confidence.
Mm.
It's just tricky coming into the NBA. You just a guy like me. You walk on kind of pins and needles. You don't even know unless you're just open. You don't really know your moments to like attack and be confident. Well, I'm
Mhm.
speaking for myself, so I wish I had the mindset now where it's just like, all right, I come off this screen, or if this guy isn't here on the closeout, I'm shooting it.
Mhm.
Make a miss. I don't care. A lot of times, if it wasn't a clean look, I would, treat the ball like a hot potato, get off of it, and allow the
Right.
creators to create. But like now, I'm more aggressive with my confidence, and it's just like I'm gonna make you pay, or I'm gonna miss. Like that's the mindset. If I take 4 or 5 threes, I'm gonna hit at least two. And I wish I thought like that. Early on my rookie years versus me. I was playing not to make mistakes, kind of with my
Right.
limited time.
Right.
And I just wish I could go back with my mindset now and be more aggressive.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much about it. The way I shoot the ball now is just like, man, I wish I was shooting it like this coming out of college. But
Right.
you
Right.
you, you
I know
learn
what
as
you
a
mean.
player. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I meant to ask you before, what was your welcome to NBA moment?
I had to guard Kevin Durant my rookie year. When I was on Dallas, and he shot over me a couple times. So yeah, pretty much like welcome to the
Did he
league. But
talk to you?
he talked to me after the game. When I was in the game, he didn't really say much. I went to
Oh, okay.
camp with the Warriors. I went to camp with the Golden State Warriors out of college, and they cut me. And I went to the G League team, and then the Mavs picked me up.
Hmm.
So when we played the Warriors, I kind of knew a lot of the guys from the little 3 weeks I was there. But
Right.
he didn't really say nothing when he shot over me. It just was like it's Kevin Durant, like this what he do. So he shot it,
Yeah.
got back on defense. I don't know why I was on him anyway. He like 7 feet.
Well, yeah, he long. Um, um, is the NBA dream for you dead, or is it something you're open to, but you're kind of focused on what you're doing now?
Uh, I'm focused on what I'm doing now. I like to try to, be focused on where I'm at. And Europe is lit, man. I like Europe. Europe is lit. Like NBA is the NBA. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
watching the Euro League. Now, and I think a lot of people starting to see that, man. Europe is lit. It's where
Right.
it's at. They paying now with the
Yeah.
NBA and the cap hits and all that. A lot of people just getting that minimum, bro. So I mean, if I was in the
Mhm.
NBA, I would probably be a minimum guy. So when you look
Mhm.
at what the Europe teams is paying, like, it's not really far off, bro. And Europe is lit. So,
Mhm.
that's really the dream not dead. If it happens, it happens. But I mean, I like Europe. I'm enjoying the Europe. I do miss family though. That's the only part that would make me
Yeah,
consider it. But like from a
yeah,
hoop standpoint, Europe is where it's at.
yeah. I mean, I, you still there? I think we got a
Yeah, I'm
little bit
here.
of problem. Okay. Um, s- so I don't know. You still there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
All right.
I think now, especially, you see who Bayern Munich just signed. You see
All right.
a lot of these EuroLeague teams are really gunning for veteran players that played in the
All right.
league or had some success in the league. And
Mm-hmm.
there's always going to be that trickle down effect. So Spencer takes that job in Bayern. That means that somebody that is not as known as him doesn't get that job, so he might go somewhere else and take a
Mm-hmm.
job that was meant for somebody else. Like
All
it
right.
trickles on down. I think it'll be about 10 years when guys like me, when I mean, I'm old now, but like I probably might not get a job because all these fringe NBA guys or
Yeah.
G League guys, and it'll trickle down and the money will rise.
Yeah.
When was there anything you were surprised at? I'm not talking about your Australian days because I think that's a different type of basketball or
All right.
especially since they speak English and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
since you've been in Europe, has there ever been a time where you thought, man, this ain't what I expected, and I'm not sure that this is what I want to do? Because playing in Europe is different. When you're in Australia, you can speak the language, people talk to
Yeah.
you, it's different. But when you come
Mm-hmm.
over to Europe, that's a different lifestyle. Was there ever a
Mm-hmm.
moment where you were just kind of like, ooh, I don't know about this?
Um, Not really. Not really. I did have a moment. So I caught COVID, and I know we're talking about Europe, but in Australia, I had one moment my first year overseas. I caught COVID. I
Mhm.
caught COVID, and I had to, stay in my room, and it was around Thanksgiving or it was around Christmas, either or.
Ooh,
I was on FaceTime with my family. I'm not feeling well. I got a
oh,
headache, and it's just like I probably went through a depression for like 2 days. I think I just was
uh-huh.
really like because I couldn't leave the room and COVID,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm away from my family. Like it was hard, but other than that little situation, man, I think the basketball part it conquers all.
Mhm.
Off the court. whenever I'm in that gym with my teammates for those 3 4 hours of the day, you know, I think it conquers all. And I've been blessed and lucky, man. I've been in some great cities. I went from
Yeah,
Australia to Tel Aviv. Now I'm in
yeah,
Moscow. Like I haven't
yeah.
really just been in like the tough parts of some countries. So my
Right,
agent always tells me I'm lucky. So I haven't really dealt with that yet. From a basketball standpoint, I didn't know if I wanted to be in Maccabi. It was some game. You don't dress out for all the domestic games because there's so many
right,
Americans.
right.
It was just sometimes I just got tired of not dressing in the domestic
Hmm.
games, and then there was a
Hmm.
period where I was getting DNPs in the Euro League, and it's just like I didn't want to not be overseas, but I wanted to play on a new team for like a
Right.
little bit. So outside of that, nah, just I had my moments between not playing, but like I haven't really dealt with not being able to play until I got to Maccabi since I've been overseas. So that was different. But that only lasted for like a few weeks. I guess I was in the doghouse for a little bit. A coach went away from me, but yeah, for the most part, no, I never really just second guessed it so far. I just, I mean, I love Europe and I love hoops, and if I'm playing, everything else to take care of itself. That's kind of like my mindset.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all hoopers,
Right,
and you want to play, no matter how much money you're making. You
right.
want to play. So when
I
you're
want to
not
play.
dressing or you get a DNP, that
Yeah,
hurts your psyche as a
yeah.
hooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and you can only go to so long with dealing with stuff like that, and especially
Exactly.
your import player, you're expected to be playing and things like that.
Mhm.
It
Right.
it wears on you. I can imagine
Yeah.
that.
Definitely.
Um, let's move now to Russia.
Hmm.
Um, the situation there is far from simple, and I know of actually myself from hoopers who have stayed away from going to Russia for obvious reasons. I'm not going to go into all of that.
Yeah.
Um, but what was it for you that you decided, okay, I'm going. I'm gonna go to Russia and see what it's like and hoop there. What was like your deciding factor in
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was
that?
it was the like I feel like you know the answer to this. It was the difference in the money. Like I had after Maccabi, I had some offers from a couple teams in the Euro League, but the difference in the money, I couldn't pass up. Like I had to go do it.
Hey, you a professional athlete, dog. You only got a
Yeah,
short window. I ain't mad
exactly,
at you. I've been through
exactly,
it
exactly.
myself, my brother. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about. This
yeah.
is different. It's
I
different,
did
right?
my homework though. I did do my
Mhm.
homework. I did. I knew some guys who was already playing, so I did hop on the phone with them. And once they told me like, bro, this is normal. Like once I heard that, that like made me feel even better.
Right.
But yeah, like that all that helped. And as far as getting my family adjusted, what does they think? Because we went from Tel Aviv to Russia, so same situation. So bringing that to
Yeah.
my wife and
Yeah.
family, it was tough, but we
Yeah.
had to, do our research kind of. But I had to go. Like I got to take care of the fam, so I had to go.
Speaking of family, so of course you got a family. So how do you balance that being professional and going somewhere that is going through war, um, and then bringing your family into that situation? Have you ever felt like nervousness? It's one thing for you to go over and
Hmm.
be somewhere, and you, as one person, you can probably get out real quick, or something
Yeah.
like if something pops off, you one person. But now you're
Hmm.
bringing your family into that situation. Was there ever a time where you were like, man, I don't know. Or was your wife ever like, baby, I'm not feeling that?
Yeah, so I know you had Wade on last month, and
Yeah,
basically the situation with Maccabi when the war happened. I mean, obviously we didn't expect that, so we was together as a family, and then when that happened, they relocated us,
right.
and they moved us to Belgrade, and at that
Yeah.
point, my family they were never coming back to Tel Aviv.
Hmm.
So we didn't have to deal with that. Like, look, we're gonna stay in Belgrade. We're gonna see
Right.
y'all when y'all play y'all home EuroLeague games, and then we going home after the season. So I
Right.
was able to see them like a couple times out the week. So we didn't. I didn't go through that situation again until the local offer, and then it's like we're at home in July, and I have a decision to make, and now we're doing the pros and cons of like, okay, we just went through this in Tel Aviv. How would Russia be? So that's when I started to do my research.
Right. Good.
And you know the Russian teams, the managers, they gonna always sell it and make it sound good and like, oh, it's fine, blah blah blah. So I actually had a few peers of mine who was already playing in the league. Hopped on the phone with them, had them on speaker next to my wife so she could hear what they were saying as well. You know, and that kind of helped. And I always go by myself for like the first month because you know preseason is always on the
Yeah, yeah,
road. So
yeah.
that helped as well. Me being there for a month and you know, and it's fine, like etc. That
Mhm.
kind of helped ease the anxiety on my family as well. And also my teammates had families too. So we were like kind of all
Mhm.
in it together. And you know, once they get there and get adjusted and see that there's nothing going on, you know, I mean, obviously that speaks for itself as well. So that was kind of the case. Going into it, it was kind of like a lot coming from Tel Aviv, but once my family got there, everything it was fine.
How has I mean, there's a ton of sanctions against
Yeah,
Russia. There's a lot of things that you can't do there anymore or is limited.
yeah.
How does it affect your daily life living there with the sanctions that are going on against Russia?
The biggest things for me would be like the entertainment. You know, like we need our Netflix, YouTube, stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, that I got that taken care of now. The Fire Stick, shout out the Fire Stick. You got the VPNs on there, so I got all that situated. I got my PS5. I'm able to play. Hopefully, they're not listening to this and get my VPN and stuff. But I'm able to play the game now. So as far as the sanctions, it's fine. I just can't use my American cards here. But you know, they give us Russian accounts. But as far as
Right.
the sanctions, it's fine. A lot of the brands, and I like Nike isn't here anymore, stuff like that. I mean, I think that's kind of if I need some Nike kicks or some Nike shoes, it's hard to get some here now versus you know anywhere else. But
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so that's about it though. Not too many people. You can't ship things here from too many people
Right.
because of that.
Right.
So, but you know, for the
So
most
like your
part,
family can't send you care packages and shit like that.
nah, I don't think so. My mom usually
Mhm.
does it, but I think not, if my mom was to send something, it would probably be a hassle at customs. Like I
Mhm.
had a teammate last year get something stolen at customs. Like
Mhm.
so. If anything, I just have my family bring some stuff, you know, with them, and then if I
When
go
they
home
come.
FIFA break, yeah, I re up for FIFA break. If I go home, I re up, try to you know bring some stuff that way. But for the most part, I don't really get anything sent here.
Mhm. How is it for your family, like your wife, when she leaves home to come to you? She then becomes your wife. She kind
Hmm.
of. I've heard from a lot of wives. My former wife felt it as well. That kind of that kind of losing the sense of identity. Now they're not their own person, but they are your wife. How does she handle that?
That's a great question slash analysis. That's great because I that is real life. I deal with that.
Mhm.
She's handling it. My wife just really my wife gave up a lot to you know be here with me. You know she
Mhm.
had great degree forensic chemistry and all that, and but she had to stop working because she wanted to travel with me and our family.
Mhm.
So that's always tough on her. She does struggle with that. I just try to you know help her when I can. One thing that I would always do is if I wasn't having really good games and stuff about 3 years ago, I wouldn't purposely take it out, you know, at home, but she would be able to sense it, like, and
Mhm.
I had to snap out of that, and I think I can commend myself on that because whether when I was getting DMPs and stuff with Maccabi and not playing as much, I was you
Mhm.
know still upbeat, and she was more angry than me because I was really trying to put emphasis on not sulking around and not being grumpy or frustrated and taking it out on my kids and my wife. So I think I've done better at that, but it's an ongoing struggle for the
For
wives
sure.
overseas. I feel like so.
For sure.
I think just trying to find my wife got into working out. She really started working out a lot, and they gave her like something to do every day, something to
Mhm.
motivate her. So like, would take the
Right.
kids to school, and then she would work out. So I think that's helped her. But I'm sure she still has her days, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's definitely tough. You know, it's not what we signed up for either. You know, I thought I'd been in the NBA 10 years in, living luxury, and you know, you can
Mhm.
be doing whatever you want. So I think it's an adjustment, you know, for both of us. But it's definitely tough on the wife and on the husband as far as just being there for them, supporting them, and just trying to, you know, make sure they mental as well as you trying to produce and do what you got to do. So it's like
Right.
an ongoing battle that you know I know we all deal with and we all go back and forth with, but you know you just got to see it through.
Yeah. Um, how has living overseas changed you as a person, not as an athlete, but as a person?
Uh, as a person, I think I'm thankful. I'm grateful to travel. I travel a
Mhm.
lot. Just passport stamps. I had to get a new I had my last passport for probably 14 months. I had to get a new one this summer because I ran out of stamps. I think that's a blessing in itself, man. I know I
Mhm.
got friends who probably only been
Yeah.
to a few states, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah. I
things
know
we
what you
don't think
mean.
about. Yeah, I get to travel a lot, man. I think that's a blessing on top of me doing what I love to do. I think we take that for granted, and in our aspect of things, we gotta just sit. I try to sit back and I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I say a prayer before each game, and I'm thankful. I think it's made me more humble as a person, and just grateful. Like when I come over into this, like my apartments are smaller when I'm overseas, kind of versus,
Mhm.
back
Yeah.
in the States. Like right now, I
Right.
don't have a dryer, so I've been hanging my clothes up. I
On the
can I
rack.
can get a yeah, I can rent a dryer, I'm sure, but I'm just trying to like adjust, and
Mhm.
I may get a dryer when my wife get here. She probably ain't having that,
Oh yeah,
but like for
you gonna
now,
get one when she get there. You can
yeah.
handle
So
it by yourself, but when
yeah.
wifey come, you gonna get you one.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, I'm gonna put my clothes on the rack. This something new for me. I'm gonna put them on the rack. Just trying to, be try all the things that I'm not used to, and just be thankful along the way. But I think it's definitely humbled me. It made me grateful, for sure.
Good. Dope. I mean, I'm living here 30 years now, man.
Okay, where
I,
are you?
I'm in Germany.
Germany, Berlin.
No, in Braunschweig. It's about 2 hours from
Okay,
Berlin.
and you've been
So
there 30 years.
I've been not here, but I played in 6 countries in 13
Uh-huh.
seasons, and then I
Yeah.
went right into coaching. So and
Okay.
now I'm a teacher. So I've kind of transitioned out of basketball. Kind of, I still coach, but not
Yeah.
professionals anymore.
Okay.
And so I've been living overseas for 30 years, man.
That's
And
dope.
like I'm not going back home.
I
I'm not.
feel you, bro. I feel the same way. If it wasn't for family, the
Hmm.
states probably wouldn't have to see me again,
Hmm.
honestly. Like
Yeah.
I say that all the time, man. When you get to traveling, it really makes you look at America kind of different. I love my country, don't get me wrong, but like
Yeah.
the world is dope. Other places are dope, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. What keeps you motivated at this stage of your career besides the bag?
My son, I want
Dope.
him to I want him to
Dope.
know his dad had game. So
Dope.
whenever he get to a certain age where he wants to just get on YouTube and click more, and he gets to understanding when he start playing ball, and he
Right.
and he puts my highlights in, I want him to be like, "Damn, my dad was nice." He's starting to see it now. But
Right.
that's what motivates me now, so he can know that his dad was damn a damn good basketball player.
Let's talk about that for a second. How is it for your son to
Mm.
be traveling around? How is it for you as a father to know that you are presenting him with a lifestyle because of what you do, that he gets to see different cultures, different types of people, everything, the full blown experience. He's relatively young. How old is he now?
My son is 6.
Yeah, so it's not like he's in school, like like that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
how do you feel as a father to be able to give him that?
I feel it feels good. It's just at his age, you don't really know what he thinks.
Right,
He
right.
don't he doesn't care about going from Europe to
Yeah,
these countries. He just
yeah.
he wants stability probably. So, and what's crazy, I asked him. My son is 6 now, but I remember when he was a day old. So you kind of lose track of time and understanding that. Look, my son is can comprehend. So I asked him last year. I said, Kyle, his name is Kyle. I said, how do you feel about all the traveling we do, with the teams I
Mhm.
play on, like how does that make you feel? And in my head, I'm like, my son gonna be able to answer this. And it hit me like I can ask him this. And he just said, well, he's on his iPad, of course, really not looking me eye to eye, but answering my question. He was like, well, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's fun. Sometimes I miss my friends. I meet new friends, and then we have to leave.
Yeah,
But other than
yeah.
that, I think it's fun and I like it. And that was his answer to me, and I thought that was dope. And just truthful, because I get it. They meet amazing people, and then they have to leave. Like my son made so many friends in Israel, and
Mhm.
it's just that's the only part with me. It's just like, damn, I want a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, but
Mhm.
you know how it is in Europe. It's hard to be
Yeah,
on a team for 2 years in a row. But
yeah.
That's the main thing when it comes to that. My daughter is 4. She's going through the same thing as well as far as school. She wants to be in class with girls that look like her or people that she can
Mhm.
talk to.
Mhm.
She voiced that as well. So
Wow.
yeah, those are the things that really make you like look at it different. Like, damn, man, I wish this. So those are the reasons why I wish the NBA comes into play,
Mhm.
because now my kids are more stable and they can go to an English speaking school with friends that they can understand them.
Mhm.
My kids went to school in Russia last year for 3 months, and the only people that can understand them was my teammates' kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the hard, the hard things you got to deal with as a parent, man. But like I said, we just try to see it through. I mean, I think we all live the same life, go through the same things all across, athletes,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
those are like the hard things.
yeah. The family situations, whether it be because your family's back home or even when you travel with your family, that's the one thing that is the toughest for us overseas athletes, and
For sure,
and
most definitely.
it's nobody can really understand it
Hmm.
until you go through it.
Right,
You know,
definitely.
all I'm sure you feel it too. The November December blues,
Yeah,
because you realize life is going on back home. People are going to Thanksgiving dinner, they're doing their Christmas stuff, and you're overseas watching them on Instagram, FaceTiming, but you're not
yeah,
there, but the world still turns for them,
right,
right?
definitely,
And that I think that's one of the toughest parts of the year for most of us
100%.
is that time, But
Definitely,
it's
definitely.
you know what you signed up for,
Right,
and you're providing a living for your family, and
hmm,
sometimes those are the sacrifices you have to make. So we
100%.
all do it. So it's the
Right,
way it is, man. So I
right.
only got a couple more questions for you, my guy, and I'm gonna let you get off.
Hmm.
Um, have you started thinking about life after basketball? For example, becoming a houseman and letting your wife use her degree and get her job, or you gonna be the houseman?
I hope my wife is watching this. We That was always that was my goal early on, like when I first met her and we got together. I was like, "You say you went to school for what?" Okay, okay, you know what I'm saying. But now I don't think she really wants to. I don't even know if she's still motivated to do that. I think she wants to do something else, venture off
Mhm.
into something else, some kind of ownership of a business or something. I'm not sure if she
Right.
wants to use her degree anymore, but I would love to be a houseman. I would love that. I got no problem with that. I'll take the kids to school, come home, keep the house clean while you at work, maybe go work out or something. Like I would love that for sure. But we still figuring out life after basketball. I guess I know I don't want to really coach though.
Really?
I coach my son's middle school or high school team or something, but
Yeah.
in coaching, you're gonna travel just like a player,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
then that's the only
I'm gonna tell
thing.
you. I'm gonna tell you. I coached for 10 years, and there are no off days as a coach. Like you can
It's
forget.
not.
Like no, as a player,
Mm-mm.
you can unwind. But come April, you already thinking about next year. So you got to
Right.
watch film on players. You got to negotiate with agents. You got to do. There is no off
Yeah.
day. There's no
Yeah.
off day. You don't have all your players signed right away.
Hmm.
Something always comes in the mix that messes something up.
Yeah.
Guys didn't want too much money. You're never really shut off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the crazy thing. Like when I stopped coaching
Hmm.
and I started teaching, that was the first time in I don't know how many years that I had nothing to do with basketball at that time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, weekends.
Because
Oh, I got a
went
3 day weekend.
you
I
probably
got
went
6 weeks
straight into
vacation
coaching.
in the summer. Like,
You went straight
like,
into coaching from playing. Did you do that
yeah,
like
like
playing?
from one day to the
Yeah.
next. Yeah.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
So I mean, and I just kept going, for 10 more years. I was in that
Yeah.
machinery. And then
Hmm.
once I got this teaching job, I was like, yo, I'm good. I got summer vacations. I got
Yeah.
Thanksgiving or autumn vacation. I got Christmas
Right.
vacation. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's dope.
this I'm good, right?
Hmm.
But of course, when you stop doing what you're doing, you
Hmm.
go through that kind of like
Yeah.
I've been a basketball player my whole life.
Right.
That sense of identity. Luckily, I did not really go through it because I went into coaching right after. And by
Yeah.
the time I stopped coaching, I needed a break. I needed a break, right?
Hmm.
And my teaching job hit perfect and just changed everything also for my family as well,
Right.
because I was home more.
Hmm.
So I had vacations at the same time as my kids, that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And so that changed a lot. And I miss coaching because I really loved coaching.
Right.
I can imagine me getting back into it, but
Hmm.
right now it's going good. So I'm 10 years in at my school, so I'm good. But you never know. You
Yeah.
never know.
Coaching is fun, man. It's definitely fun. That's why I said I want to just do the middle school or high school with my son because
Mhm.
I enjoy I enjoy the adjustments. Like I went to my little cousin's AAU game this summer, and I was looking at the things his coach should have did, and I was saying what the other coach like. You really can see a coach out coach another coach. After playing
Yeah,
in Europe, that's how I started looking at the game.
yeah,
Kind of like
yeah.
it's always a chess match, even with 8 and under. Like, and I enjoy looking at the game and looking at it, trying to make adjustments. That's the part of coaching that I would look forward to. And with me coaching high school and middle school, I'm able to come home and get in my bed every night
Hmm.
versus
Right,
college or that with the stuff
right,
that takes
right.
more stress on you. That's why I say I would probably coach middle school or high school or something. But I don't really want to jump into like professional or college because of the travel. But I enjoy coaching. It's just what comes with it on certain levels, kind of.
Yeah, I got you. So, my guy, I got one last question for you. If you could describe your overseas experience in one word, what would it be?
In one word, mm, I would say inspirational, only because of my. If you know me personally in my career,
Mhm.
I think it should inspire you to believe in yourself and to just to keep hooping. Like I don't really come from 5 star, 4 star. I had one offer, first player to go to the NBA from my college. Like and to see where I'm transcending towards, I think it should be inspirational. Kind of like I wanted to motivate other people. I guess all the mid major guys who probably won't even sniff the NBA or get a Exhibit 10. Like overseas, you can really make a name for yourself. I still got work to do though. I'm not at
Mhm.
this little. I'm not sitting on no throne like I done made it. Like,
Mhm.
but it's a lot of opportunity in Europe, and it's dope, man. You can getting the recognition, getting the notoriety from your peers and people from
Mhm.
that's a good feeling, And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's not all NBA. It's not NBA, NBA, NBA. I think Europe is dope, and people are seeing it, and it's respected kind of more than the NBA, depending on who you're talking to. But
Mhm.
it's dope though. So I would say kind of like inspirational slash motivational. I guess I would say motivational. I want to motivate others to not be afraid to come across the waters and make a name for yourself. So I would say that
I
motivational.
love that, man. I love that. And I'm for sure going to use that in my clip for tomorrow because that's what I'm all about is trying to help players understand this overseas business and things
Yeah.
like that. And if I could do it, you're doing
Right.
it. It's not going to happen for everybody. There's too many players in the world, but
Right.
what I do is try to educate players in that sense. But um, that's what I try to do
Hmm.
to try to inspire them not to give up, to do it the
Right.
right way. It's not always this way. It could be another way. And but of course, we don't hoop every day when we're growing up thinking, I'm going to go overseas. The
Correct.
end
Right.
goal is always NBA. But
Hmm.
I think as time goes on, people are starting to understand that there is more to basketball than just that end goal
Hmm.
of NBA. And that's what I appreciate that you're doing. And
Yeah.
like you said, that you hope to motivate somebody that you wasn't a big time recruit, you wasn't
Hmm.
all that, but you reached a level that a lot of people can only dream of, you
Right.
know. And that's important that we all have our role models. Somebody can look up to you. Somebody can watch this video and say, "Hey, I like the way he is. He did his thing. I can do it
Hmm.
too." You know.
Yeah. And then like it's funny you said that. Like the goal is not overseas growing up; it's the NBA.
Hmm.
And shout out to my boy Juan Toscano Anderson because he said that, you know what I'm saying? And they tried to crucify him. And I think he
Hmm.
just was being honest, man. Like growing up, you want to go to the NBA. I didn't know what overseas was. I mean, you would hear about
Yeah.
it, but you don't, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
truth. And like I think he spoke the truth from that. And people maybe they didn't like the delivery, but it was as an American, like NBA is the goal, bro. You learn about Europe and overseas as you get older, but you're not growing up shooting the
Hmm.
shot, saying Slucas. You know, you saying Kobe, Curry, like Curry, like you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
So yeah, I agree with you, and I instantly thought about one when he said that my boy,
yeah.
and they crucified him for that, but I think it's true.
Yeah, I believe it, man. So, my guy, I'm gonna let you get out. You probably got practice in the morning. It's like almost
Mhm.
11 o'clock your time. I'm gonna get you out of here. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad I reached out to you and that you
Mhm.
were able to come on. And I think a lot of people can watch this and learn something. And that's why I do. That's why I do this actually. And I
Okay,
appreciate you coming on and telling your journey and things
Mhm.
like that. I wish you nothing but the best, man,
Hey, man,
out there in Russia. It's about to get cold out there,
it is
brother.
about to get
I
cut.
hope you got a big old jacket. I hope you got
Yeah.
you got a hat that fits you. And I'm gonna be rooting for you, man. And if
Appreciate
if there's anything I can ever do for you or your people,
it.
man, please let me know with what I do. And man, if like I said, if I can ever do anything for you, man, please let me
Mhm.
know. And I appreciate you coming on.
For sure. I got a question before we get off. I got a question for you
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You watch the Euro League, right?
Oh yeah.
I want to know your final MVP. I mean your Euro League MVP this year. Who you
Ooh,
think gonna win it all
ooh,
and your final four from these
ooh.
first 7, 8
The
rounds?
first couple games.
I know it's early, but
Ooh, that's tough. MVP is going to be tough.
hmm
MVP is going to be real tough. I'm going to have to abstain from that. It's too early. But
nah,
I
you gotta
think,
answer it. You gotta answer
oh man, you done threw me
that.
under the bus on my own show. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go with. I think I, I'm gonna hope they got off to a slow start,
Uh-huh.
but I am going to hope that one of my former guests, who for me is on the Mount Rushmore of people that I wanted to have on my show, I'm
Okay.
gonna say Wade. I'm pulling
Okay.
for Wade to. They started off slow, stuff like that. They're repeat champions. Everybody's gunning
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. Everything. I'm I'm hoping that they kind of go on a streak, and he's the catalyst
Uh-huh.
for that. So
Okay.
I'm always going to root for y'all that have been on my show more than
Okay.
anybody else. So I'm
Respect.
going for Wade. I'm gonna send him this clip too. I'm pulling for
Uh-huh.
you, Wade, for MVP. Now, do I think they can repeat? Ooh,
Be tough.
I like, I like what Monaco is doing right now.
Okay.
I see it as a dark horse, and I'm gonna say that because Blossom Game was on my show as well, so I'm
Okay.
always pulling for them.
Right.
But I like what they're doing. I really like what they're
Okay.
doing, and with their coach with another year in the Euro League and stuff like that. I think they could be a sleeper. So I'm gonna go with Monaco. And what was the other one? What was your other
Your
question?
final four. Your final four. So
Oh,
Monaco got to
okay,
be in
okay.
there.
Final four. I'm going with you. You're gonna see Panathinaikos there. You're gonna see Olympiacos there. Oh man. Oh, I'm going. I'm going Monaco and Fener.
Okay.
I'm going Monaco and Fener.
That was last year's final four, right?
Was it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
gonna I'm gonna go
Okay.
repeat with that. I'm gonna go repeat with that because I
Okay.
really like what Monaco's doing. Um, Defending champs, you can never count a champion out, and
hmm
just Olympiacos is just amazing with what they're
You don't
also
think
doing out there.
Hapoel Tel Aviv go back home next month? You know, like how you feel? How you feel
I
about
think they're
them?
gonna run out of gas. I think they're
Okay.
gonna run out of gas. I think they're gonna run out of gas, but I mean for their first year, they're doing amazing. For their they're,
Okay.
they're doing amazing.
Got you.
So
Got
I don't think as a first year, I don't think they'll pull it off, but they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure, no question. Maccabi
you.
better watch out. All the EuroLeague better watch out.
Yeah.
Dubai is going to sneak in some wins there, but nah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the same final from last year. You done threw me under the
Got you.
bus on my own show, my dog.
Hey, man, you got stay on your toes. You got stay on your toes, man.
So now I'm gonna have Tyson Ward. He gonna hit me up and say, "Why you ain't tell he I had him on a
Uh-huh.
couple weeks ago. Why you
Yeah.
ain't tell me? Why you ain't say Olympiacos?" So yeah, I
I
got
mean,
it.
you said you got them in your final four though,
They in the
so
final four. I got him in the
yeah,
final four.
facts,
I got
facts,
him in the final
facts.
four. My guy,
Okay.
man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for throwing me under
Appreciate
the
you.
bus on my own show. That's never happened before. So I appreciate you, man. Go and get up out of here. and I'll be hitting you up anyway.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
So everyone, I'm glad I got thrown under the bus and got to throw out my opinion on EuroLeague this is this season. My 2 cents worth, and I'm so glad that he was on because I like he said at the end, he wants to be an inspiration, he wants to be a motivator, and I think that's what he does. And a guy that went to a mid major didn't have all the accolades that a lot of other people did, and still has risen to the highest level in European basketball and is doing his thing. So I wish him all the best, and I think he can definitely set an example for others. So that's going to be it for me. I do have one next week, so keep your eye on my guest for next week. I'll be posting on Instagram as usual. And yeah, I hope everybody is well. Hope everybody's safe. And that's it for me tonight. Old head out.